intimacy and sexual satisfaction. Men are just as susceptible to the mental and emotional factors affecting their performance. Here with more is our sex therapist, Shelley Vorode, on why men choose to break up instead of get help. What's that about? Hello.
Hi.
What is that about? First of all, actually, before that, what is that about? Why is this... Like, it makes sense. We're all human and have emotions.
Yes, it makes sense. And what you're saying is very true. We're all human, but expectations still in 2018 from men are very high. In fact, they're ignoring the fact they have feelings, or that something can go wrong with their work, or they feel that they're not providing enough. And sexuality is affected by every little aspect of life, including our daily life, their relationship.
Why do we always associate these issues having to do with women and not men? Is it just because we just assume men just perform and it's just more cut and dry?
Yes, and I have
to speak.
And I have to say, at my clinic, I see a lot of women are surprised why when he see me or when he see my body when I'm not wearing clothes, he doesn't feel turned on in a minute. And I'm like, is he supposed to feel turned on in a minute? Are you forgetting that his sexual cycle also may take time? It's true that men libido is highly affected by the eyesight, but it's also everything that they're going through, as I mentioned. And women expectation are very, very high. It's not just to get turned on in a minute. It's also, of course, satisfy us. I agree with
but also
investing time, but it's also being able to last longer, and longer it depends on their terms. It's also about their intimate
men,
parts.
We know if, it's just different with men and women. Like, if they're, if they finish performing or not.
Yes,
it's like not something you can hide. If we could fake it.
Well, they can fake it through, but it's true that there is evidence that it's easier to see when it comes to men. So women expectations are very high for men, and I see a lot of men who get hurt. They critique them in bed as well. Sometimes they have very I would even say mean comments that highly affect them. If it's comments about, again, their size, intimate parts, or about their performance.
That leaves a scar. I mean, that's almost traumatic. That they'll carry with them, I imagine, in other relationships.
Exactly.
Like, that's right to the core of
I understand men supposed to be tougher, but no, when it comes to their sexuality, it really harms their self-esteem, also masculinity and their view of themselves. And it looks like we start reading about men who prefer and choose. I just saw it in England. They report, a very famous doctor there report that men would rather leave their girlfriend rather than talk about
or go to therapy for themselves, or
issues
even as a
in
couple.
bed, especially if they can't function, or if it comes to the ability to function in a healthy way. So they'd rather leave than seek for, or talk to the girlfriend, or seek for help.
Right. So what is your advice to men that are,
First of all, let's take I'm trying to say an erection problem. This is something that can happen to every man, no matter if they're young or older, at a certain point in their life. Just like libido, when it gets lower, it's natural, and it can happen to men and women. It's going sexuality, as I said. It's according to our life and what we're going through. First, we don't need to get scared. Second, just go and ask your family doctor. You don't even have to go to a urologist or sexologist or sex therapy or a couple counseling yet. You can just go to the family doctor and tell him, hey, I think I'm having an issue, and he would be very open-minded about it. He's going to do blood tests. He's going to run first, make sure everything is healthy. And this is the other thing. When it comes to men's sexuality, it's very important to understand the source of the issue, because it can represent diabetes sometimes.
So there could be medical things, and also Viagra doesn't always offer a solution.
And again, you mentioned Viagra. It's great because here in Israel and in other countries, it's becoming, you can with no
over the counter.
Yes, over the counter.
Where's the over the counter women's Viagra? Come on.
I know. I'm like, so about over the counter, you can take it, but if your brain is not there, it's not going to help. Exactly. This is what also shows how men connected to their feelings and emotions.
Thank you so much. See you next week.
I'll see you next week.